is an absolute travesty. The disgraceful Warriors organization has done nothing to improve this offseason. Seeing Steph Curry still ball out like a superstar, getting more brutal by the day. Life ain't the same without Clay. Only team to have 0 trades and sign 0 new free agents this offseason. Resigned Gary Payton II, then called it quits. Comfortable running back the same roster, the same 10 seed that won 37 games, far below contention status. Owner Joe Lacob focused on building the Warriors post Steph Curry. Does he not understand what happened when the Bulls tried to do things their way post Michael Jordan and they still stink? A disgrace to one of the most loyal all-time greats we've seen. There's no fault for Steph wanting to go elsewhere given the lack of commitment from the crappy front office. The only question remains, how much can Steph tolerate before demanding out? Still having a lot left in the tank, his numbers comparable to his 2022 title run. Jimmy Butler will likely still miss the first half of next season. He's about to be 37, not really a regular season guy anyway. They're only preying on lottery pick rookie Jackson Lindenberg to save them. Attempting to both contend and build for the future simultaneously never works. It's either you're all in on the present or you're not. It's that simple. The stupidity on passing up Jaylen Brown, not wanting to insert 4 first-round picks. Philly only gave up 2. Golden State felt Brown not the right player to carry the Dubs beyond the Curry years when he's been contending in many deep postseason runs consistently. Jaylen already won a Finals MVP. Now he's playing alongside Steph's greatest rival LeBron in Philly. Adding Brown would have been an easy decision for LeBron to join the Warriors. After all the strikes, resigning Draymond to a 1-year $28 million deal, super predictable. Where else they gonna spend their money? Their draft picks post 2019, a disaster class on all levels. James Wiseman might be the biggest bust of the decade, picked ahead of LaMelo Ball. Now the center out the NBA already. The whole Kuminga debacle a mess. Moses Moody nothing but average. Skipping out on multiple star players in the process. Mr. Lacob himself being obsessed with life after Steph. How long has he been obsessed with that for? And for Curry to constantly be this good, the franchise has taken him for granted. Team had a chance to trade for OG Anunoby back in 2023, but scared to include Kuminga in the package. Could have had Lowry marketing in 24 with a package of Moses Moody. Their biggest reason, not wanting to give up Brandon Podziemski. By this time, all these guys have 0 value. Giannis becomes available. Decided to go to Miami, striking out on every big name stars besides Jimmy Butler. The truth of the matter going forward, there is no next star on Golden State after Steph. No passing of the torch like Dallas from Dirk or Luka. Looking back at the franchise since Steph drafted 2009, did the unthinkable. Unfortunately, the good times have to come to an end. The window shut for years. Front office tapped out many times. The only thing left is whether Steph demands that trade, looking to utilize the remaining ounce of his star talents. The New Orleans Pelicans, first thing they did, signed DeAndre Jordan and called it a summer. Typical bottom shelf franchise dumpster behavior. Seeing 14 of his 15 players from last season returning, having the most mid untouchable players for a 26 win team, these players go from untouchable to having no trade value. Stuck with the disappointing, now hypeless Zion Williamson. If anything good happens to this team, God knows when, it won't be with Zion. Having drafted 2 of the best prospects the entire 2010s decade based on hype, wanting to sell extremely high on mediocre players when there's no takers, the lack of common sense being this bad in a small market, this franchise might be forever cursed. 3 more seasons this decade and it'll be a full 10 years since the AD trade. The Pels will see themselves winless in a playoff series since 2018, almost at the luxury tax for no damn reason. A mid-level guy ain't moving the needle. Ever since 2019, team has had 0 identity. Zion not an ounce of leadership qualities. Second year guys, 7 pick Jeremiah Fears and 13 pick Derek Queen, both the future looking somewhat promising. I'm willing to commit to a full rebuild. Dumar stalling his job, being friendly with the owner, he's gonna remain for a while. It's more likely the team will relocate out of New Orleans before the Pels become serious contenders. Since 2003, this team never once were considered real championship caliber. Closest was 2008. There's no hope or direction for this franchise considering Zion was relatively healthy from December on last season. He looks semi-washed. Hiring Jamel Mosley won't turn the team to playoff contenders if they're missing interior D. Having Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Jordan Hawkins, whose option picked up, and DeJounte Murray linked to trade rumors. Team has 12 seed written all over them. Sacramento Kings, from light the beam to out of steam. The come-up magical 2023 season, unfortunately, a once-in-a-decade anomaly. It's back to reality. Brutal suffering from the franchise, couldn't get rid of DeRozan, so they flat out waived him. Not that they were going anywhere to begin with. From humiliatingly firing Mike Brown, who led the Knicks to the title, ownership stinks, being complacent after first-round loss 3 years ago, keeping the same roster when the entire Western Conference got better and figured out Sacramento's game plan. That was the beginning of the end. Missed the playoffs the following year by falling to play-in. Did they not realize DeMar and LaVine failed in Chicago? At least they got 3 first-round picks for Fox, might come in handy, but given it's the Kings drafting guys, look how many busts ended up there. Had 22 wins, drafted point guard Darius Akoff at 7. The longest suffering loyal fan base have nothing to look forward to. If the team believes Zach LaVine, still in the back end of his prime, can play himself to a tradable piece, they're kidding themselves. Denver Nuggets. Jokic time ticking in the NBA. EuroLeague Greek powerhouse owner wants him in Athens. Still regarded the best player in the league by many, he's now at the tail end of his prime, has 2 years $122 million left on his contract, a player option for 27-28. The more the Nuggets don't try to contend, there's no need for the Serbian superstar to remain with the franchise. Teaming up with other superstars, just not in his DNA. Signing vet Marvin Bagley III, who's supposed to be out the NBA last 5 years, what's he ever done for a winning team? Is Bagley even an upgrade over Jonas Valanciunas? Still navigating the ongoing restricted Peyton Watson, the repercussions of Calvin Booth sabotaging the franchise continues to stall. The atrocious Zeke Naji getting 4 years $32 million before the start of the 23-24 season has done absolutely nothing meaningful on the basketball court. The Watson saga might have already been settled for now if it wasn't for that. Being stuck with the hit or miss Jamal Murray, too streaky, his playoff magic appears to be running out of steam. The lack of defense alongside Christian, jack of what traits, master of none, can't shoot, nothing but a glorified transition finisher, only has some nice dunks here and there. Aaron Gordon's been having too many injuries, missed a combined 77 games each of the last 2 seasons, insanely valuable and versatile, will have 3 more seasons left on his contract, making over 33, 36, and 39 mil a year, would be another disappointing first round exit if he can't stay healthy. Signing back Tyus Jones likely won't make a difference. Spencer Jones just mid, but taking a chance on Lonnie Walker back with the NBA, why not? There's nothing to lose. Signed 29-year-old Alpha Diallo, reigning EuroLeague Defensive Player of the Year, desperately seeking for an upgrade over Bruce Brown in that department, will be one of the rare older true rookies, already 29 years old, low risk high reward, having limited offense. Jokic, the best player to elevate those type of guys. Denver's front office at least trying to make something happen, but at this point, it's more like praying all the right buttons will hit come April and May. Signing back Bruce Brown, he's no longer his 2023 version and barely even playable. There's no quick fixes for guys making big money, not capable of producing or staying healthy. That's why superstars today want to be gone when things are already going downhill. The current contract offer to Watson, 4 years $70 million with a team option the final year, something he'll absolutely have a hard time accepting, especially seeing how much Christian Brown's getting. Being a second apron team, having no picks, and invested the relatively young guys on that 23 title team, as soon as there's a couple losing streaks and struggles early next season, the Jokic rumors will be at an all-time high, holding off on the contract extensions. As he should. Actions over words. Anytime Jokic your franchise player, the only other player the 3-time MVP would love to play with in the league, the 27-year-old superstar who currently on the Los Angeles Lakers. Orlando Magic. Franchise absolutely tragic. After that embarrassing blown 3-1 lead to the Pistons, overpaying Jalen Suggs, it's already been 3 straight first round exits. Biggest acquisition, firing Mosley, signing San Antonio's Sean Sweetney, and bringing back washed up Nikola Vucevic, who'll be 36. Getting back Jonathan Isaac for a vet minimum after releasing him to manage some cap space, he hasn't been productive in 2 years. One of those disappointing lottery picks after a full decade, still with the team that drafted him. The Magic, one of the typical franchises who loves bringing back their former mid players for no reason. Look at Michael Carter-Williams a few years back. While teams like the Knicks, Sixers, Heat, Cavs, Pistons, and Raptors more superior, the rebuilding stages of the franchise up to this point, post-Dwight Howard years, has been abysmal, putting in lots of trust in Franz, Paolo, Desmond Bane, and Jalen. All four total $155 million on the season. That's why they have a weak bench. Banchero and Franz still an awkward fit. The longer Orlando decides who to trade, they might have to hit the rebuild button again come 2029. Being in the luxury tax as a first round exit, unacceptable. The inefficient Banchero has regressed, barely playing like a top 40 guy. Franz, on the other hand, better offensively, but injury prone, only played 4 of the 7 playoff games, missed more than half the season. That's why he hasn't been named an all-star yet. A 4 straight first round exit, franchise might have to aim for a different direction come 2028.